Hey everyone, I'm Alex Rawitz. I'm one of the co-founders of DIMO, and I'm really excited to be joined by the Hotspotty team today.
Hey guys, I'm Max, the co-founder of Hotspotty, also CEO, and this is Daniel, my dear co-founder.
Hi everyone, happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's start with an overview of Hotspotty. What is Hotspotty? How did it become the preferred solution and preferred tool of people in the Helium community?
So we heard about Helium, me and Max, actually around summer 2020. That's when we decided to deploy some hotspots around Portugal. We actually deployed over 100 devices back in 2020, 2021. We were one of the first deployers in Europe. After deploying hundreds of hotspots, we realized that there was a big need of a tool to actually manage those devices, pay or host, etc. And that's when Hotspotty was born.
Let's talk about decentralized physical infrastructure in general. What is it that you see in this space that makes it so exciting?
To me, it's about inclusion, because physical infrastructure is usually very hard to actually build because it requires a lot of capital, a lot of work, and it's typically reserved to these big institutions, which essentially all of the actual value creation flows back to the investors or flows back to these big centralized entities. And to me, DIPIN is basically a very exciting space that allows inclusion for anyone to actually participate in this economy.
What's your vision for Hotspotty, and how do you envision Hotspotty fitting into the DIPIN space as a whole over the next 5 years?
So our vision at Hotspotty is to help people basically get intro to the DIPIN space and be able to participate in the best project that fits their needs, because there's a lot of different profiles, like user profiles. Some are risk averse, others are a bit more YOLO, but in the end they're also very beneficial to the space, because early projects, they need this audience in order to get like the initial kickstart. So it's very important to tailor solutions to these different audiences, and we believe that at Hotspotty we're best positioned to actually do that successfully for everyone involved.
What are people's favorite features about Hotspotty today, and what do they use most, and what do you expect is going to be available for DIMO users?
At Hotspotty, we have a lot of different features, but I believe the one that's used the most and actually brings most value for the community is actually what we call commission reports. At the end of the month, you have a fleet of devices. If you have one device, it doesn't really matter that much. But if you have 3 or more devices, either Helium hotspots or multiple cards you are managing, at the end of the month, you need to figure out how much those devices have generated in tokens. And what usually happens is a reward split. Each driver in your fleet is going to get, let's say, 10% of the rewards. And with Hotspotty, you'll be able to actually know how much each device generated. And in a matter of seconds, you can just pay everyone. So I think that's something that we're excited to actually bring also for DIMO.
What do you guys think is unique about DIMO as a project relative to the other DIPIN projects?
The first time that I understood what DIMO was trying to do, I had the same light bulb moment that I had with Helium in summer 2020. Like, wow, these are actually projects that can really change things. Just the fact that you can have this massive database of cars to understand which cars are performing better, having problems or not, etc. I think that alone is an amazing achievement. Plus, I believe that in the future, if I'm going to buy a used car that hasn't had a DIMO plug before, because then I can actually trust the history of that, right? So I do believe that DIMO is one project that's really here to change the DIPIN space for the better.
What we also bring to the table, and I think cannot be understated, is the workspace concept. The fact that you can work with multiple people on the same fleet, you can use the labels, you can leave comments, get notifications if you get mentioned. All of the traditional functionalities are now available across your DIPIN operation. And starting with one DIPIN operation at Helium is manageable, but now if you have DIMO, you have Helium, you have a few others, you have a lot of stakeholders, a lot of devices, actually it becomes a lot more valuable to manage this all in one place.
So if you're interested in connecting DIMO vehicles and using Hotspotty, how do you get started, and what can I expect as a user?
Right now, you can go to hotspotty.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at Hotspotty and follow up with the news. There are a lot of things that's going to start happening. We're going to start promoting as soon as we have updates on that. If you're as excited as us to have DIMO and Hotspotty working together, there is going to be a link to sign for the waiting list. We're going to be following up with all the news updates and everything that's happening on this joint partnership. I think it's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to see that. And actually, if you want to buy some DIMO devices, you can use the code Hotspotty for 10% off. Make sure you buy some.